Welcome to Barbershop Speaks. I'm Jefferson Noel, and today we're diving into a conversation that every entrepreneur needs to hear. More than a hustle, the financial realities of entrepreneurship. Too often we celebrate the grind, the passion, and the risk-taking, but what about the financial foundation that keeps a business alive? Making money is one thing, keeping it, growing it, and using it wisely is another. We'll hear from experts and entrepreneurs who know firsthand what it takes to turn a business from a side hustle into a lasting success. And a special thank you to Amazon for sponsoring today's episode. Let's chop it up. Building a business is exciting, but let's be real, it's also tough. The highs are high, but the challenges can be overwhelming. Today, we're diving into the power and pain of entrepreneurship, what it really takes to start, survive, and stay in business. Joining me are two powerhouse women who've mastered both the numbers and the strategy of success. St. Billings is a CPA and financial strategist, helping entrepreneurs maximize profits, optimize taxes, and build lasting wealth. Dr. Kareen Melissa is an entrepreneur, educator, and CEO of the Women's Chamber of Commerce of Miami-Dade, empowering women and creatives in business. Let's talk about the wins, the struggles, and everything in between. Let's chop it up. Ladies, how are y'all doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Saint?
Really good.
You're really good?
I'm in great company.
Yes. Well, I feel like I'm in good company.
I'm
It is.
talking about her. I'm playing.
Okay. So it is my honor to be in the presence of so many amazing women. And so I'm curious to know, what is the biggest financial shift someone has to make between being a struggling business owner and a successful business owner?
So for me, it was important for me to realize what my strengths were and where I needed help, right? And so I'm just not a numbers person like that. I'm a creative. And so I find that dealing with numbers just makes me stagnant in my creativity, right? So I had to surround myself with the right people. So financial advisors, attorneys, and all of that. So once I did that, then I believe I was able to thrive so much better because I knew that I needed assistance with that.
You and I are on the same page. I'm definitely not a numbers person. Saint's a numbers person.
Yeah.
I'm not. So I need some of Saint's anointing for that. So Saint.
And my question actually is, I guess, complements hers, is that you need to know the numbers. You need to know the numbers for your business. And I think we'll probably get into that. But a lot of times as creatives or women, entrepreneurs period, they tend to be so passionate about the service or the product that they have going on. And they don't realize whether the business is even making money sometimes. So I'd stop it there.
Yeah, that's good. And I want to stay with you in talking about what are some financial habits a business owner can make in the beginning, because we know habits that stay with us too long is hard to break. So just starting out, what are some habits, financial habits we could start?
Like good habits?
Yeah, good habits. Thank God. Yeah, please.
I'd say number one, you are not your business. So separate those two. If you created an LLC, the whole purpose was for you to separate the money, right? So don't deal with it as if it's your own. Make sure you pay yourself accordingly. So that's the first part. Separate the money, operate as a business. And the second one, I'd say the plan to profit. So that means early in the year, set out what are your financial goals for the year and make a plan to reach that. Don't just let it happen, whatever happens. So yeah, again, it's always going to get back to the numbers with me.
That's good. I like that. Plan to profit.
Plan to profit.
Hashtag plan to profit. I like that. So, Kareen, you work with a lot of business owners, as Madam Chair of the Women's Chamber of Commerce. What are some mistakes that you see a lot of business owners make?
Ignoring the money. and just focusing on the art, right? I think that it is important that even though we might not be numbers people, that we understand what's happening, that we know what's going on in our business, because I think that's the only way that you can plan to profit, is if you know you're actually making money. If your accountant has to break it down a certain way, make sure that they break it down a certain way so that you can understand what's going on.
So how can someone know when to spend, when to save, and when to invest?
I'm a research person. I research everything. If we're making a big expense, like I will research the out of it. Like I need to know all the pros and cons and why are we doing this? If we don't do it, what could happen? And then that's when I know how to make a good decision. I have to know all sides.
What I'd say is understanding what season you are in business. If you're just starting, maybe sometimes people get too ahead of themselves and they start investing in everything. You're learning, and truthfully, you won't be able to provide the service or the product that you wanted to put on the market if you're spending all the time learning how to be an accountant, learning how to be an attorney, learning how to be a social media person. So, but understand where you are. Don't overspend. Right? There's a time, there's a season for you to do different things in your business. When you're first starting, the part you're trying to at least see if it works, see if you have a product that people want to buy. So you want to see if it's going to generate money, generate income. So make some money first, right? And then when you're in the next season, there's going to be a time where it's visibility matters, where you're paying to appear in things, where you're paying to be in a magazine, you're paying to be in different spaces. And there's going to be a time where, well, now I need to pay to be in the right room. So I'd say based on where you are, what season you are in business, and sometimes you can find yourself in multiple seasons. Just make sure you're making an educated guess. You're not just saying yes just because.
Yeah. And I think in any season, discipline is important from the start, right? So as soon as you start making money, like I teach when the high school students, I teach them, when you want to start a business, you're graduating, you're starting your own business, start from now to create a spreadsheet. Track your money, and so I think creating those little disciplines along the way really helps you realize how much money you have, how much you can invest, and how much you need to spend.
Yeah.
Can I one of the reasons people don't track sometimes, they don't take their business serious. So start out taking it serious. Start out taking it as if like this is a real business. And so what that means is, one, you start tracking the money separately. Yeah. You start thinking, how much would I pay myself? Think about the job that you're at. What would be your ideal boss? And think about what would it take for you to be an ideal boss to yourself. That means time off, paid time off. That means planning retirement. There's too much to get into, but take your business serious at the onset.
Yeah. So what would you tell, and you kind of answered this, but I'm curious to know, what would you tell your younger self about financial planning and dealing with finances when starting a business?
I would say know who it is that you want to hire to effectively run your business, right? I think there are so many different areas in business, like whether it's marketing or creating a product or whatever it is, right? Know all, and I got this from Joanne with Cool Creative, shout out to her. Know all the people that it takes to run your business effectively, right? Then you know how much money it takes to really run your business. Until you get there, right? You're going to have to be doing all those different roles. But I would say start out knowing what it takes to profit, to effectively run your business.
Yeah.
For me, okay, so a little background. I started in corporate America. And I'd say telling my younger self, I always knew I wanted to work for a major company. I'm really big on impact. Where will I have the greatest impact? So I started in corporate America. And the advice that I would give myself, being where I was, is understanding that whatever you're learning can be the service that you provide on your own. You don't have to be tied to that corporation. It's what will you take for yourself, and also understanding that you can start creating, putting money aside to create true freedom and really be on your own, or even earlier.
Okay, so I'm curious to know, 20, 30 years from now, where do you see yourselves?
On the beach, making money.
I like on the beach, making money.
Making money.
I like that.
No, for real. Like I just really in 20, 30 years at my age is that moment of legacy, right? I want to make sure that I've made an impact in every area that I touched. And so it is not just about the money. I want to be making money, but it is not just about that. It is about impact. How did I do business? Did I do it right with integrity? You know, and so for me, legacy is the most important thing when it comes to that 20, 30-year goal.
I like that.
20, 30 years from now. And that's something I've already started now, because I'm telling myself, you don't have to wait 20 years to start putting action towards the things that you want to see in the future. And so for me, everywhere that I've been, I want to go back and make an impact. So every school that I've attended, from my school in Haiti, I'm originally from Haiti, to the high school that I went to, Turner Tech, I'm on the board of directors. So I want all those places that I've been, I want to create scholarships. I want to have something with the name of my family. My mom didn't get to finish school, and education was really big for her. She invested in that for me, and education is big for me. So I see myself creating that type of impact. I see myself having, one thing that I read somewhere was, for me, prosperity or wealth is not about just having money. It's having the freedom to no longer be told what to do with your money. And that's what I see myself doing in 2020, 20, 30 years, directing where I want society to be.
This is so good. This is so, so good. And I didn't even know that you were on the board of directors of William H. Turner Technical High School. Yeah, board of advisors. That's amazing. So thank you all so much. This has been an incredible conversation. So much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much information. And we could have done this for 5 hours, really. But we're limited with time. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Saint and Dr. Kareem Melissa just gave us real insight into the financial side of entrepreneurship, the wins, the mistakes, and the lessons that matter. Now we're shifting the conversation to one of the biggest factors in business success, understanding and managing money wisely. Up next, I'm sitting down with Michael Stevens, a master barber and my barber, and owner of Top Cutters, to discuss the key money lessons every entrepreneur needs to know. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
Great seeing you all. We need to do this more often.
Will you be paying separately or together?
Oh, you can put it together.
No, give me a second.
Hold up, I got this. I'll get the reward points.
Well, I have early pay, so this time it's on me.
My AI insights say that I have room in my budget, so I'll pay.
Well, I got all that and more with the One Love card from One United Bank.
Wait, the One Love card?
Yes, with the One Love Visa debit card, I got a full suite of digital services from the nation's largest Black-owned bank.
Well, how do I get one?
It's easy. Just go to oneunited.com.
Okay. Kristen's got the One Love card and the check.
When it comes to banking, One United Bank is where I want to be.
Who it is that you want to be. Put your fists in the sky. We can let freedom ring.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Entrepreneurship isn't just about having a business. It's about having a plan. Whether you're running a barbershop, a tech company, or a consulting firm, financial literacy is the foundation that keeps it all going. Joining me is someone who knows this firsthand, Michael Stevens. He's a father, a master barber, and entrepreneur. As the owner of Top Cutters, the very shop we're filming in today, Michael has built more than just a business. He's built a community. Today, we're breaking down the basics of what you need to know to get started and avoid common financial mistakes. Because the truth is, it's hard to be a great entrepreneur without a great understanding of how money works. Let's chop it up. Mike, what's going on?
Welcome, brother.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've been filming in your shop all these months, and so we're happy to actually have the owner here with us.
Right.
Man, so you've built yes, man. You built a great business here, and you are a staple in this community, not only for how great the business is, but how you make people feel. And the business is here because you are financially literate. And I want to know, for people who are entrepreneurs, what is the first mistake that entrepreneurs make, the first pitfall when they're trying to start something like this?
Well, one of the first mistakes that I see made is people are not willing to bring some of their own sweat equity into it. You know, if you're looking to a bank or financial institution to back you or give you funding to get started up, well, first they're going to ask, how much skin do you have in the game? How much money have you saved towards your dream? And then beyond that, they'll even go as far as to ask you, well, what is your family and friends invested in you if your idea is such a great idea? And then they'll come in, and of course you got to have good credit.
So you're saying we have to invest in ourselves first?
Oh, definitely.
Because how do we expect someone else to invest in us unless we do it first?
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
And so for a lot of entrepreneurs, they see it as a side hustle, and for many people it is. And whenever $1 comes in, it quickly leaves their pocket. And they think a lot about just the daily struggle, the ins and outs of how to get $1 today, how to get $1 tomorrow, but don't really plan for the future. So how can an entrepreneur really think long term while they're still struggling day to day, trying to make a dollar?
Well, in this particular industry, you have to invest in yourself. And when you start to make money, instead of trying to appear to be successful and buy the trappings of success, the drip, the car, etc., you have to reinvest into the business in order to build yourself up. And I think that's one of the pitfalls that we fall into, especially nowadays. We want to do it for the gram, or we want to give a certain appearance before we actually have the foundation of a financial foundation actually built. You don't have a contingency fund, rainy day fund, because there are a lot of rainy days in this business. You don't have there are what we call intangibles in business. It's the costs that you don't necessarily see, but they come along. Like, for instance, me being an owner, if the AC goes out, we're in sunny South Florida. That can't happen.
That thing gonna be hot.
You know, and that's gonna run your business off. So you got to be able to deal with those type things as they come along. And also, one of the pitfalls is not getting properly licensed, not setting yourself up correctly, so that once you get going, something can come along and actually stop you from doing it. Like, for instance, if you're an unlicensed barber, you can build all the clientele you want, but the day that the state catches you, it's all over for you.
What made you passionate about this line of work?
Just looking at the necessity from back then, and I think I bet it correctly, because this is one of the fastest growth industries right now is barbering. You know what I mean? Everybody's complaining about their barbers' prices right now. You know what I mean? They're up in arms about it. But this is one of the industries that hasn't given itself a raise, so to speak, until COVID came. Until people really saw the importance of having a reliable barber or somebody to come and take care of your personal services, because we do more than just barbering. You know, I have expertise in the salon business, in the nail business, in the lash business, but all of it boils down to service. You know what I mean? And if you're in this business and you're not forward with service and serving people, no matter how many gadgets you get and how high your prices get in your Instagram following, it all boils down to the money. Your celebrities are the ones who patronize you week after week. Good clients like yourself that patronize you week after week. Those are your VIPs in my eyes. You know what I mean? That's what's going to support you. So what ends up happening, people will get a good clientele, and then a few rappers will call them and they'll leave those people hanging. Just to go chase behind this guy who may or may not pay you. You know what I mean? I don't even deal with rappers unless they management call me. If the manager calls, they're going to cut the check up front. They're going to validate your parking. you know they're going to make sure you're taken care of. If you're dealing directly with those guys, hey, it's according to what you want. They may want you to cut their hair for a Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
And that don't feed the fam.
I'm curious to know, in speaking about that, it can be difficult for entrepreneurs at times when money comes in and it looks like their money, but it's really business money. Right. Can you speak to separating personal money with business money?
Okay. I've been in business a long time and I still have that issue.
Mm-hmm.
That some of my personal debts or expenses end up coming out of my business account. However, I have what's called an owner's draw. So as all I have to do is clear that up with my accountant. But when it's just you, and let's be clear, if you're a barber, you're a stylist, you're a nail tech, you're a walking business. And you have to conduct yourself as such. You have to become licensed. You have to pay your taxes or you'll never be able to buy anything. It sounds crazy, but if you're paying taxes on $13,000 and you go to buy a bicycle, they're not going to finance you. But I mean, if you go ahead and declare taxes on $60,000 to $80,000, which a lazy barber can make easily, you may owe $6-7 grand, but it gives you power that you don't have. You know, you have to put your things in someone else's name, and it doesn't seem like a hustle at that point. You know what I mean? So I do recommend anybody that's starting any type of event, just set yourself up as a business entity. Yeah.
So I'm curious, before we close, what is the future for Top Cutters? What is your vision?
My vision for Top Cutters is, you know, ownership in the future. Like any building that I'm in, I would like to be the owner of it, to be a real estate concern, kind of like McDonald's. If you see a Top Cutters as the anchor, you know that everything else around it is owned by Top Cutters. Definitely to start a school to replicate the business model, because you really end up investing into your personnel and teaching them. So why not actually start a school that I want to be able to get people their barber's license for not a whole lot of money. A lot of guys are in debt 20-30 grand. Some have the license, some don't. And some ain't made 20-30 grand. And now you're in debt.
Mike, I appreciate you, because the barber, I would argue, is one of the wisest people in the community, because anyone who sits in their chair, there's always a good conversation, whether that person is a police officer or a criminal or a lawyer or a doctor or in finance or a professor or whatever the case is. They're in your chair, you're having a conversation, and you have wisdom from all industries across society. So thank you for being who you are in this community. Appreciate you, Mike.
I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you much, bro.
Yes, sir.
So Barbershop is the freest place in America. Remember that.
That's true. That's true. So Michael just gave us a real look at what it takes to keep a barbershop running, not just through skill and passion, but through smart financial decisions. Listen, entrepreneurship isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart, managing money wisely, and planning for the future. Before we wrap up, I'll leave you with some final thoughts on what it truly means to move beyond the hustle and build lasting financial success. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
great seeing you all. We need to do this more often.
Will you be paying separately or together?
Oh, you can put it together.
No, give me a second.
Hold up, I got this. I'll get the reward points.
Well, I have early pay, so this time it's on me.
My AI insights say that I have room in my budget, so I'll pay.
Well, I got all that and more with the One Love card from One United Bank.
Wait, the One Love card?
Yes, with the One Love Visa debit card, I got a full suite of digital services from the nation's largest Black-owned bank.
Well, how do I get one?
It's easy. Just go to oneunited.com.
Okay. Kristen's got the One Love card and the check.
When it comes to banking, One United Bank is where I want to be.
Who it is that you wanna be? Put your fists in the sky, we can let freedom ring.
What an eye-opening conversation we've had today. St. Billings and Dr. Kareen Melissa broke down the financial realities of entrepreneurship, how to plan, protect, and grow your money. Then Michael Stevens gave us firsthand insight into what it takes to run a successful service-based business, from managing cash flow to building long-term wealth. If there's one takeaway from today, it's this. Entrepreneurship is more than a hustle. It's a financial strategy. Passion gets you started, but financial literacy keeps you in the game. Without a plan, even the most successful business can collapse. But with the right money moves, you can turn your hard work into long-term security and wealth. At Barbershop Speaks, we're committed to having real conversations that empower our community, not just to survive, but to thrive. To stay connected, take out your phones and scan the QR code on the screen. We'd love to hear from you, grow with you, and continue building together. A huge thank you to Amazon for sponsoring today's episode. Also, special thanks to the Children's Trust and Overtown Children and Youth Coalition for their support. And of course, Top Cutters for hosting us in this incredible space where conversations aren't just talked about, they're lived. If you're in the area, check them out. Before we go, remember this. Wealth isn't just about making money. It's about making the right decisions with your money. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an aspiring business owner, or just someone trying to improve your financial future, every step you take toward financial literacy is a step toward freedom. I may not have met you yet, but I love you. Your community loves you, and God loves you. Never forget, your life has purpose, your life has worth, your life has value, and never let anyone tell you that it doesn't. See you next time.
MIA Media Group. We are the largest distributors of Black content in the state of Florida. We editorialize the success and the achievement of the Black South Florida community. Our platforms are print, digital, and broadcast. We are Black excellence.